Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're pitting the beautiful, carefree reality of your all-inclusive ocean getaway against a rising hidden cost that is causing some serious tipping fatigue. You know the feeling. You book the perfect vacation, dreaming of those warm ocean breezes. But increasingly, paradise comes with a bit of a catch, one that usually slips right under your cabin door on that final morning.
Okay, let's dive right into today's agenda. We're going to cover 1. The rising cost of cruising. 2. Decoding the tipping pool. 3. The passenger tipping rebellion. 4. The double tipping trap. And finally, number 5, the hybrid tipping strategy. We are going to demystify these automatic gratuities and find a real practical solution for your next voyage.
We really need to answer this massive question that's absolutely dominating travel forums right now. Where does your cruise tip actually go? Passengers are desperately trying to figure out if these fees are just a complete ripoff, some clever corporate subsidy, or a totally fair way to support the hardworking crew members. Let's find out.
But first, if you don't want to get hit with unexpected cruise surprises, hit follow right now so you never overpay for paradise. Moving to Section 1, the rising cost of cruising and understanding vacation price creep. Let's look at how these daily charges are steadily hiking up your final bill. To put this all into perspective, when you calculate an average $20 per day per person gratuity fee, well, a family of 4 is looking at a staggering $560 in extra charges for a standard 7-night sailing. That's no longer just a tiny line item on your bill, right? That is a major vacation expense.
This brilliantly illustrates the 2026 industry-wide trend of price creep. You can see how major lines are adjusting their daily fees to secure their bottom lines. Holland America recently bumped up to $18 for standard rooms and $20 for suites. MSC goes all the way up to $23 for their yacht club. And get this, even Virgin Voyages, who are famous for their no-tipping, all-inclusive model, has officially reversed course and added daily gratuities back in.
Section 2, decoding the tipping pool, or the secret corporate accounting behind your daily fee. Let's pull back the curtain here to see how these cruise lines actually distribute the millions of dollars they collect. The absolute crucial point to understand here is that automatic gratuities function less like a personal thank you and a lot more like an internal corporate compensation pool. Think about it. Under a traditional tipping model, your money goes directly to the individual server based on the quality of their service. But under the cruise pool model, money is collected ship-wide to fund baseline compensation targets for the entire hotel operations team, including all the unseen staff. Take a look at how this breaks down. The massive slice of the pie shows that the pool must first cover the ship's guaranteed minimum base wage targets before any extra money flows into true bonus programs for the crew. So, if a ship collects $500,000 in a week, but the baseline target is $450,000, only that small remaining $50,000 slice actually becomes a true bonus or incentive. And this brings us right to discretionary pay. Basically, this is the fluctuating portion of a crew member's salary that's funded by the tip pool. By keeping base salaries low and making compensation dependent on tips, it completely neutralizes the financial risk for the cruise lines, literally shifting the burden of payroll straight onto us, the passengers. It's a very clever way for them to reduce obligations like paid time off and injury payouts. Which leads us to Section 3, the passenger tipping rebellion. Let's explore why cruisers are increasingly taking control and opting out. People are genuinely suffering from serious tipping fatigue, and they are pushing back. Just look at this quote from a cruise forum. "Gratuity everywhere is out of control. At self-checkouts, the machine asks for a tip. For who exactly?" Cruisers are increasingly frustrated by the total lack of transparency about where their money actually ends up. Here's another one. "I just wish they'd pay the staff decently and include that in the fare. I hate tipping culture." And you can totally understand the frustration. A lot of passengers just want the freedom to adjust their tips based on actual service levels, rather than feeding an impersonal one-size-fits-all corporate algorithm. Okay, on to Section 4. The double tipping trap and the hidden fees beyond your daily rate. Before you decide to march down to guest services and remove your daily gratuities, you have to be aware of the other areas on the ship where tips are mandated. If you buy a drink, book a specialty dinner, or visit the onboard spa, an additional 18 to 20% gratuity is automatically tacked onto your bill. Yeah, this is where you can easily get caught in a trap. You'll see that 18 to 20% auto gratuity on your receipt, but right underneath it, there's a deliberately placed blank tip line tempting you to add more.
Here's a secret tip from the crew. If you want to reward a specific bartender, hand them physical cash. Writing it on the slip often means it just goes straight into a general fund, not to the person who actually served you.
Let's move to Section 5, the hybrid tipping strategy. Here is how you can tip like an experienced pro.
So here is the definitive strategy used by seasoned cruisers to ensure fairness. Step 1, leave your automatic daily gratuities in place to support the unseen, hardworking crew. Step 2, use cash to directly reward exceptional service. This hybrid approach is awesome because it supports the broader compensation structure for behind-the-scenes stuff, while keeping your personal connection to the crew who actually made your trip special.
If you go with the hybrid strategy, these are the key individuals you should always keep a few small bills on hand for. Luggage porters at the terminal, usually $2 to $5 a bag, your cabin attendant, your primary dining room waiter, bartenders, casino dealers, and shore excursion guides. Cash is king at sea, guys. Handing it directly to them is the absolute guarantee that your generosity reaches the right pockets.
So it's completely up to you how you navigate this slightly opaque corporate system. But taking a proactive approach really does guarantee your generosity reaches the right hands.
As cruise lines continue to shift their payroll burdens directly onto our shoulders, the big question is, will you use the hybrid tipping strategy on your next vacation to take back control? If you're tired of vacation price creeps, hit follow and check the link in the bio for exclusive travel savings. See you next time.